Welcome to your daily writing habit, episode number 160. If you're writing a book or thinking about it, or maybe you've started writing a book and you're having some trouble finishing it, or maybe even some issues marketing it, you are in the right place. We are doing all things books here, and I am your host, Christine Whitmarsh. If you're looking for me online, you can look up Christine Inc., INK. That's kind of how I identify online on social media and the internet and all the things, and kind of sometimes in person too. People call me Christine Inc. And every day I'm sharing with you the writing habits I've learned over my 18 years as a ghostwriter, book coach, and author. I have found that three things in particular have a huge impact on your success, and they have the ability to turn a non-author or someone who doesn't necessarily consider themselves an author into one. And those three things are writing fundamentals, productivity, and mindset habits. Here's today's inspirational quote. Autobiography is an unrivaled vehicle for telling the truth about other people. Philip Guadala. It's true. It's your story. A lot of people, my clients, when working, little sidebar here, when working on their memoirs, they're concerned about, what they're going to share. And unless it's, outright libel and slander and all the legal things there where you're just kind of making things up for the purpose of harming others, sharing those details, your life from your point of view is your life from your point of view. And nobody can argue with that because you're the only one that has lived your life. So again, as long as you're not, outright slandering other people, with lies that are meant to harm them. And a lawyer could probably describe that better than me, a ghostwriter. But that's my understanding of the difference. But if you're, telling your life story and this is what happened from your point of view, then that's what happened from your point of view. And there's that quote that says, if people don't, if they don't like how they appear in your book, they should have behaved better, something like that. So there's that quote of the day. And what we are talking about this week is I'm revealing to you questions that I ask new authors when they start working with me, whether as a ghostwriting client or a book development client, a book coaching client, all sorts of ways that new authors work with me. And I love it personally because this is also the first time I get to hear their story of why they've decided to write a book. And I've heard some of the best stories on the planet as to why people are writing a book and what they hope will result from it. So I've been sharing my 7 questions. And for those of you who might have already seen my 7 questions floating around in other places on the internet, tune in anyway this week because I'm adding context for each of them that I did not add in the written version of this. So we are up to question number 5 of my author intake interview. Which books out there, so books that have already been published, are comparable to yours? And when I say comparable, I'm looking at things like genre, content, like the topic at hand, target audience, length. And this isn't for you to, copy them or imitate them or anything like that. This is just simply from the standpoint of being a well-informed author and understanding what's out there. So because these really are your peers and I guess your competition for when you do publish your book, you'll be in the same category as these other authors. So, it's important to know kind of what's out there, especially so you can differentiate from them, especially if you're writing about a topic that maybe is, well covered, like in personal development world, if you're talking about like quitting smoking or something like that. Definitely, look at the comparables so that you can figure out why your story would be different. And this is especially true if you have already decided that you would like to be traditionally published and you will be pitching publishers and literary agents at the end of or towards the end of your book writing process. Very, very, very important to understand your comparables because that's actually a huge piece of the marketing proposal that you would be providing to those literary agents and publishers is your research. They want to make sure that you've done your homework. I mean, they'll have to do the same homework as your publisher, but they want to make sure you've done your homework on why your book is different, why it's going to stand out. And a little hint on that is your story. Your story will make your book stand out. But yeah, also look at the subject matter itself and just ask yourself, what is different about that? And even if you're self-publishing, this is still a great exercise because again, if you're self-publishing, you are your own publisher, you are your own marketer. So it's equally important, if not more so, to understand the rest of the books that will be in your categories once you're published on Amazon. Who else will be in your little neighborhood on Amazon of your genre? And for something like, it's another question I get from people, book length. That's another thing that you can use to, a lot of authors, new authors at the beginning, they don't really know how long they think their book should be. So that's another benefit of researching the comparables, researching books out there that are similar to the book that you have in mind, is you can get an idea of length. Like if you have just like, I have no idea if my book should be 100 pages long or 300 pages long. Well, look at others like yours, and that will give you some ideas. So you can at least narrow it down to kind of a 50-page target. So find your comparables and study them, do your research, do your homework. That is the next piece. And when in the context of interviewing new authors, I am, asking them if they've already done this work, or I might even assign this work to them, or depending on the service they've hired me for, I might do it for them. So tune in tomorrow for my next question. And in the meantime, be sure and drop by my Inc. Authors group on Facebook for motivation, inspiration, entertainment, sometimes accountability, book writing, publishing resources. It's a great group with a lot of great authors of all levels, all the way from people that are thinking about writing their first book all the way to New York Times bestselling authors. So quite the range of authors and resources for authors. Inc. Authors on Facebook. Thank you for joining me here on Your Daily Writing Habit, where I'm helping you write and finish writing an awesome book. And if you know someone who wants to write a book, please tell them about Your Daily Writing Habit. They can listen on their Amazon Alexa device or iTunes or Google Play or TuneIn or all the different places where podcasts are played. Your Daily Writing Habit. Thank you very much. And until tomorrow, happy writing.